My name is Caden Kubler, and this is what it looks like covering the Phoenix Suns and the March Madness National Championship in the same week. We'll start last Wednesday, April 3rd, when the Suns started its final home game stretch before the playoffs against the Cavaliers. I pulled up to the Footprint Center 3 hours before tip-off to head to media availability. I scooped my credentials and began working on questions for Phoenix Suns head coach Frank Vogel and Cleveland Cavaliers head coach JB Bickerstaff. Once I finished my prep work, I headed to go interview Vogel first, and here's what he had to say before the game.
Coach, when you played Cleveland earlier in the season, the big three combined for 88 points. How do you continue to get them in a rhythm offensively and then continue that defensive identity with Mitchell back in the lineup?
Just keep moving the basketball. Whatever action we do, just keep pushing whatever action we're in. Obviously, we know when they're going to double team pick and roll, they're going to double team KD's post ups. You're going to have great ball movements because they're bringing to the ball as part of their game plan. But whatever their game plan is, whatever the scheme we're facing, we have to really attack and get the ball moving. That's when we're at our best. That's when you're going to have a nice, like you just alluded to, where all three guys are going at once. And, it's something that, that's how we reach our potential when the ball's moving like that. I would also say that, with Bradley Beal's shifted playing more full-time point guard. So we're asking him to initiate and run the team more than he's done in the past. So, his field goal attempts are down slightly over the last few weeks, but that's by design. And it's something that's really working for us in terms of getting those three guys working together. In terms of handling Donovan Mitchell, 5 guys out there. He's one of the best in the business.
Once we wrapped up, it was time to go interview Bickerstaff pregame on his game plan to defend the Big Three.
Coach, you guys have been one of the best defensive teams in the league this season. When you go into this matchup facing 3 elite scorers, what's your message to the team to slow them down defensively?
Make sure they stay out of transition first and foremost. So we got to do a great job taking care of the ball, creating our shots, not giving them turnovers where they can get out in the open court. And make sure that our big guys get an opportunity to be a part of our defense. And when they're in the half court, that's when they're at their best. So, be physical, limit touches, shrink the floor still. Everybody's got to participate. I know sometimes you get caught up in guarding a Booker or a Durant or a Beal or, Gordon, one of those guys, so you want to hug your man. But we got to be in position to do both and not allow them to get the penetration, hopefully turn it into an ISO game where they're just taking tough contested twos.
Both interviews were wrapped up, and it was time to hit the court to go watch the superstars warm up. Here's KD getting the handles loose before the game and then working on some form shooting from the free throw line. Spida Mitchell and Darius Garland were going through their pregame shoot-around on the other side, with D-Mitch practicing some contact finishes to start his workout. Then the crowd absolutely erupted when Devin Booker came out for his pregame warm-up. It was now game time, and the Suns dominated the Cavs from the jump. Book exploded with 40 points and led Phoenix to a massive victory. Here's what I asked him after the game.
Devin, when you and KD both have massive games like tonight, how do you balance feeding him when you're going off and being aggressive while he's going off?
Just playing in the flow, taking the best available shot, but still understanding where he's at on the court at all times. Most of the time he gets open shots for all of us out there, causing so much attention. So, just realizing that and rewarding him for it.
That wrapped up game 1 of this eventful week, but I was quickly back in downtown Phoenix on Friday with the Timberwolves in town. I got to the stadium a few hours early to work on my questions for each coach, and here's what Vogel had to say ahead of the game.
Coach, Book has been in a role offensively the last 2 games. What's the key to keep his offensive momentum going along with the teams as you face this tough Minnesota defense?
Yeah, just react to what coverages they're going to throw at him. Obviously, defensive coordinators have a tough challenge with our team. With the firepower that we have around Book and around KD, around Durant when they have the basketball. It's tough to win double teams, and if they do, when they do, we got to make sure we stay supportive.
Then it was time to talk to Minnesota Timberwolves head coach Chris Finch about the defensive adjustments he needs to see this game.
Coach, the last time you guys played the Suns, you gave up the most points during the regular season at 133. What do you need to see differently on the defensive end tonight?
Well, defense, we'll start there. They just blitzed us in every way possible. They ran us off the floor in transition to start the game. They got to the mid-range. They shot 54% from 3. They got it all. So, I don't think our defense was very strong that night for sure, obviously with 133 points. But, it was a long time ago. They kicked their tail, and we certainly haven't forgotten.
I was all wrapped up with the coaches' interviews and it was time to go hit the court again. Here's me following Mike Conley onto the court pregame. When I went courtside, KD was already going through his warm-ups with unusual free throw jumpers. Ant-Man hit the court shortly after and so did Book. I finished up watching both of their pregame warm-ups and it was now game time. The Suns continued their dominance against the number 1 seed in the West and won by double figures. Here's what I asked Vogel and Kevin Durant after the game.
Coach, in each of the last 2 games, you guys virtually led the entire time and survived the opposing runs. With all the criticism at the beginning of the season about closing out games, how do you think your ability to close out games has improved?
Well, it's improving. I still think we can score at a higher clip. But we're getting stops. And we're preventing them from making runs. That's good enough. But ideally, you put your foot on the gas and you see a 20-point lead go up to 30. That's what we're hoping for.
Kevin, after tonight's performance and your 3rd straight win over a playoff team, what's been the biggest difference of your guys' play now and from the beginning of the season?
We've seen flashes early in the beginning of the season of what we can be defensively, offensively. I just think 77 games played. I think we're just getting more and more comfortable with each other, and understanding our roles individually and trying to bring it to the team. And coach's staff been emphasizing how important these games are, so guys are just digging down even deeper to be better as individuals.
I woke up the next day to see that my interview with Durant was turned into an edit thrown up on the Suns' social medias on Instagram and X.
Seeing flashes at the beginning of the season of what we can be defensively, offensively. Guys are just digging down even deeper to be better as individuals.
Booker turns a corner, glides inside. Booker gets it to the baseline, look for Durant. Trying to lean in on that big shoulder. Allen sets, fires, connects. With a steal up ahead to Beal, and Beal brings the boom.
Then Monday came around the corner and it was National Championship Day, and I headed down to State Farm Stadium where the Cardinals play to watch this battle between Purdue and UConn. When I pulled up to the stadium, there were so many more Purdue fans than UConn fans. Once I got inside, check out this view of the stadium as I walked to my seats. I was sitting in the UConn student section and it was right by the studio with EJ, Chuck, and Kenny. Big Zach Edey walked out for warm-ups and the UConn fans did not give him a warm welcome. It was almost game time and the stadium was packed with fans. Both teams ran out on the floor and the atmosphere was absolutely electric. UConn had simply been a buzzsaw all season long, and this didn't stop in the big game. They dominated Purdue in the second half to win their 2nd consecutive title in a row. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you stay tuned for more exclusive content.